Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we're continuing our lessons on reflective symmetry. So that is balance that is reflective in two sides. So the first thing you're going to do if you're using your sketchbook is fold a paper to the center of your sketchbook, hot dog style, and then fold it back to have this line of symmetry in the middle. So we're going to start with a brown marker. We're using markers today. If you don't have markers, you can use crayons. So we're going to start by making a line at the bottom, right near the bottom, that goes across, and it's equal ways on both sides. Then we're just going to go straight up, almost to the top, to about right, leave a little bit of space at the top on both sides. And once you've got that, you're going to color that in. So this is going to be, today we're making symmetry trees. Symmetries. So once you got that done, you're going to color that in. I'll go ahead and get this done. So we're creating right now just the trunk of our tree, and it's got the same amount of space on both sides of our fold, of our line of symmetry. Then we're going to create our branches, and each branch is going to come from the side. So you're going to start by going a little bit up, and you're going to make a branch that comes over, and then you can kind of branch it off a little bit. Have a couple pieces that come out. Let's see, I'm going to have one that comes up and over like this. So whatever I do on this side, then I have to switch and do it on the other side. So the first one comes up, and I'm going to put a little dot right here so I know it's going to come right over there. So I got one that comes over, and then I have one that comes down from there. And then I have the one that comes about halfway between, that goes up to about right there, and then over. So whatever I'm doing on one side is reflected on the other side. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker on this side so it's about the same. And then I'm going to make some other ones here. So whatever you do on one side, you also want to do on the other side. And you can add some little, let's add some little extra ones in here. This one's going to go up, this up, and we're just adding our little tree branches here. So we got a branch like that, and this one's going to have one that comes off like this. So we go over to the edge of that one, and then I had two that went up. So we go up and up like that. And so everything is pretty uniform. Everything is pretty much very similar. So when I go from one side to the other, I do the same type of line. So I'm going to have one that comes out like this and just kind of comes over. Let's see. So whatever lines you put on one side, you also want to put on the other side. Let's see, got one right there. And this kind of goes over to that one. Okay, and I'll just finish up by putting one straight up the line here, going over, and we'll put one more line in there too. Okay, so once you've got your basic tree here, we're going to put a horizon line. So I've got my tree lines. So now I'm going to get, we're going to use green for this because we're going to make it like the grass. And I'm just going to put a line that goes straight across touches my tree, and then to the other side. And everything underneath my tree right here is going to be green. So I'm going to color this all in green. Now if you have a big thing of markers and you want to just use like different shades of the same color, like if I had like a really dark green, a really light green, and some shades in between, I could do my whole top with different kinds of green, and that would look really neat, like it was the foliage of the tree, the leaves and all that kind of stuff. So, but since I don't, I just have the basic marker set here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start picking colors. So if I color one section in red, like say I color this part right here red, then I'm going to have to color, for it to have reflective symmetry, I'm going to color the other side also red. I always like to go around the edge first when I'm using markers, so I can get it nice and neat right up against the edge, and then I just kind of color it in from there. That way I got a little buffer on the sides when I'm coloring stuff in. Alright, I'll do a couple more areas red. Well, maybe not. So now I'm going to pick another color, and I'm going to go with yellow. So I'm going to pick a couple areas to do yellow. So I'm going to do this little part right here yellow, and then I got to do the same part on the other side yellow, and then I'm just going to pick a couple other little spaces. This space right here, and then it's mirror space on the other side. I'll do this little triangle space up here, and I don't want to do two yellows right next to each other. I want to make sure I spread them out. That's real important so we can get balance in our picture. So I think I got enough yellow. I'm going to do some orange. You might notice I'm kind of starting with the warm colors first, and then I'm going to go in and add some cool colors. So if I do this on this side, then I do it on the same side on the other end. And you're just going kind of back and forth. So let's do this one right here. Orange. And let's see, I'm going to do this one orange. I'm going to do, now these two are right next to each other, but they're both going to be orange because they're right along that middle line, that line of symmetry. So we want to make sure we're doing that along the line of symmetry. That's the only time that if they're touching along the line of symmetry, then we'll have to color them both the same color, so it's the same flipped over. So as you're following along, you can draw the same lines I drew, but if you want to be a little bit simpler, you can change it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my artwork here. I could have just used the warm colors or the cool colors on the top. I decided to just kind of have a mix, make it very colorful. And notice all my lines either touch another line, or they touch the side of the paper. That's all. I don't have any spaces that have little openings like little gates. So when I color it in, I'm coloring in a whole shape. Because if it had a little opening, I would have to almost color in like two spots together, and that I don't think that would work out quite as well. So I'm almost there. You want to make sure that once you finish your artwork that you upload it to Schoology. You also want to make sure that you copy the same thing on the different sides. So if I do it on one side, I got to do it on the other side, and that you're doing these right down the middle of the line of symmetry, because that's what I'm going to look for. I'm not looking for you to make the most awesome like super artwork in the world. It's okay if it's not perfect. I just want to see that you understand the concept of reflective symmetry, and that when something's on this side, reflective symmetry makes sure it's flipped over on the other side. So I'm almost done. Just going to add in a little bit of purple and maybe just a little bit more green to a couple spots here, and then I will be done. Yay! So hopefully you're following along with this video. You might be doing it with me step for step, or you might just be watching to kind of figure out what we're doing, so you can kind of take it on your own and do it. So just about done. I'm going to go ahead and do these two purple also. So here is my reflective symmetry, kind of more very geometric. The shapes are kind of very angular and geometric. My symmetry tree. And remember, reflective symmetry, it reflects on both sides. All right, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.